Hey guys, today I'm going to give you all the details on this B&W tow and stow hitch. Obviously these have been on the market for a long time. It's that, versatile daily driver type hitch that a lot of us truck guys have used. And of course it gets its name because you can stow everything in the back there and leave the hitch installed in your truck and it's not sticking out. This one is special. Notice the profile right here. And it's specifically designed for GM truck owners like me. If you have a GMC and you've got that MultiPro Tailgate, then you know that if you deploy that MultiPro Tailgate while you've got a hitch installed, it can actually make contact with the ball mount and leave a dent in the back of your tailgate. And so of course, if you're a GMC truck owner, you know that's one of your fears, one of the mistakes you hope never to make. And essentially this hitch here solves that problem. You know guys, B&W hitches, they've always had a really strong reputation, at least in my mind, especially in truck circles, the RV community. And that goes for whether you're looking at these bumper pull hitches like this one here, or even fifth wheel hitches. I know years ago I had a companion style hitch that I towed with a fifth wheel, and B&W is just always known for making really hefty, sturdy, well-made products. Of course, they're made in the USA. And so for me, this hitch is going to be basically a daily driver for me, something that I'm always going to keep with me when I'm driving the truck around. It's either going to be installed like this or in the back of the bed stored away. And so this hitch is really versatile, and I'll unfold it and show you just all the different configurations. But first I want to demonstrate what it looks like unfolding the tailgate if you've got a GMC truck with that MultiPro Tailgate, because really that's what makes this hitch unique with that profile. And so you can see that you've got, I would say, probably about an inch clearance between the receiver here and the back of the tailgate on this upper section when it's folded down. So you can see how that profile makes all the difference in the world. The standard model of the Stow hitch, if it was straight all the way up, it would probably be kissing, if not making solid contact, at the back of the tailgate here and leaving a dent. And that's just on the upper portion here. I'll talk about where you can put the ball down below here in just a minute. But I mean, really, this hitch is a perfect marriage for GM trucks with the MultiPro Tailgate. I'll also show you what it looks like when you're using the step on the MultiPro Tailgate, or the seat when you put weight on it, because of course there's going to be just a little bit of flex there, and so that way you can get an idea of what that looks like. But you can see you still got plenty of clearance between the tailgate and the hitch. But next, let me show you what it looks like in the actual tow mode. Right now, of course, I've got it in the stow mode. We've got two pins right here that we're going to pull out, and then we're going to flip it around here. And I'm going to go all the way up to the top position, and I'll give you these measurements here as well in just a minute. Okay, so now we've got it in the tow position, and then we've got two different ball sizes, of course, our 2-inch and our 2 5/16. For me, typically what I'm going to be using most of the time is the 2 5/16. So it's as easy as just rotating it just like that, and then we put our pin through right there to lock it in. Then we've got our two pins on the actual body of the hitch right here. I'm just going to do the top one since I'll be moving it a little bit. But you get the idea there. So that is in the upper position. So the big question is, can we lower the MultiPro Tailgate with the hitch in the tow position? I'm going to show you that here in just a minute, but let me give you the measurements first. This is my 2024 GMC Sierra 2500 HD. It does have 4-wheel drive, and the heights here that I'm about to give you are going to vary based on your truck. So let me give you the height of my receiver, and then you can use that to reference on yours and get an idea of clearance and ball heights. So on my receiver here, I've got 22.5 inches to the top of my receiver where it goes in here. And so use that as a reference point for you. But in the topmost position here on the 2 5/16 ball, we're looking right at 22 inches off of the ground here. And I'm on flat level ground right now, so 22 inches to the top there. Now let's go ahead and lower it down to the lowest position and see what we're looking at there. So we're going to go all the way down right to about here, lock that in, and then that same measurement from the ground to the top is going to be 18 inches. And so that gives you an idea of the different ball heights. I'll also give you the clearance from the bottom of the hitch here all the way to the ground, your ground clearance essentially, and that is just under 12 inches in my case. Okay, so now for the million-dollar question, will the MultiPro Tailgate clear when the B&W Tow and Stow hitch is in the tow position with the ball in the highest position? So I've raised the ball back up to the highest position you can see here, and now I'm going to slowly and very carefully let down the tailgate, and we're going to see if it will clear the ball. Okay, so here we go. All right, so I'm going to very carefully hold because I do not want to make contact, and we're going to see how close it is. Oh wow, look at that, guys. It is, oh, that's probably less than a quarter inch, maybe an 1/8 inch clearance. And I'm just going back and forth there. I've got my hand on the upper part of the tailgate to make sure it's all the way down. And yeah, I mean, that is very close. And even in the resting position, okay, there it starts to make contact just a little bit right here on the top of the ball. I mean, barely. I would say we're touching maybe about a 1/16 of an inch or so that it could go down further. So I probably would not recommend keeping it in that lower position right there. I would probably go down 1 notch here, and I think that's a safer position to keep it in. So let's just go down one level here, and then we'll try that again. Yeah, that feels a lot more comfortable. So I've got it all the way down, and you can see now I've got at least 2 fingers of clearance between that section of the MultiPro Tailgate. But I mean, still guys, that's really impressive that you can leave this hitch in the tow position with the ball in the highest position, and it just barely makes contact like you saw with the underside. This is really the top of the tailgate when it's deployed fully. I mean, I think it's probably safer to go down like I did 1 notch here on the height, and that gives you just a little bit more room. You can see about 2 fingers worth between the ball and the bottom, and that way as it flexes, because you know there is a little bit of flex, especially when you deploy the step here, that gives you just a little bit more peace of mind that you're not going to make contact. So I mean, if you were going to use this hitch as a daily driver, you could totally leave it in this position right here 100% of the time, and you wouldn't have to worry about making contact when you lower the MultiPro Tailgate. And by the way, guys, let me give you the height, because this is really the important height to make note of. If you're going to be leaving it in that position, you might want to know what that height is from the ground. And we're looking right at, I would say, about 20.5 inches from the ground on that setting. And guys, even with that tapered design here, this hitch is no slouch. You can see it's still rated for 18,000 pounds and then a max tongue weight of 1,800 pounds there. And so I mean, this I think is the, if you're going to buy one hitch, you know, and you've got a heavy duty GM truck with the MultiPro Tailgate, if there was one hitch to buy for your truck, I definitely think this is the hitch to get. This is the versatile, you know, daily driver hitch that you want to keep with you at all times, so that no matter what you're towing, you've got something that will work, you know, from the different balls here to the different heights going up and down to the pure capacity. I mean, I really think this is a versatile hitch. Of course, I got the 2.5 inch receiver model because this is a 3/4 ton gas truck, and so it has the 2.5 inch shaft. The manufacturer advertises this as a 7 inch drop or rise depending on the configuration. So if you did need to go higher up, of course you can flip the entire body and then go up. But I think for most guys, you know, 3/4 ton trucks are pretty tall to begin with, that keeping it in this position is going to suit you just fine. I also like that as robust as this hitch is, it's not a 100-pound hitch. You know, it's not a full body workout every time you want to pull it out. It's very lightweight and easy to store. Of course, B&W products are made in the USA, so that's great. It's my understanding that they have a lifetime warranty. So yeah, I think there's a lot of selling points for a hitch like this. And by the way, guys, this hitch pin here did not come with the hitch. You know, like most hitches, you got to buy that hitch pin separately. And let me show you this real quick. This is not made by B&W. This is made by Bulletproof Hitches, but you can see it matches, you know, it's stainless steel, so it matches the hardware on the B&W. But I'll tell you what turned me on to this. In the past, I've always used bolt style locks, you know, the ones that are key to like to your truck, so you only have one key to keep up with. But what I like about this one here is it has a backup pin right here, because imagine what would happen if the keyed portion of this lock failed and this part of the lock fell off, and then eventually the pin wiggled itself out while you were towing. And you know, sometimes in reviews on different hitch pins you'll read about that, and I think they're very isolated. But what if it did happen? You know, oftentimes it's probably more operator error than it is failure of the product. But I do like that this has that redundant, you know, kind of backup pin to make sure that even if the lock fails, that it's still there. So that's really neat. But guys, let me know what you think about this hitch. I mean, I think if you are a GM truck owner like myself and you've got the MultiPro Tailgate, I think this is a must-have. You know, I'm a pretty forgetful guy, and I know before I bought this truck, one thing that I kept thinking about is, what if I drop this down and I've got a hitch right here and I'm gonna have this big, you know, ugly dent in the back of my tailgate? And so this hitch really solves that problem. So I do think it is the one hitch to buy if you've got a GM truck with that MultiPro Tailgate. But guys, do me a favor, if you're interested in purchasing this hitch, I will include affiliate links in the description below, in the comments below as well. And so I appreciate you using those to support the channel. As always, thanks for watching.